Welcome to CompuLight Vibe. We are very close to the curtains opening. Let's learn to manage controllers and playback the show. The main controller is the AB crossfader. Tap a cue list and a button to assign it. It has two sliders, one for the cues fade in and one for the cues fade out. Use the go button to fade to the next cue. Use the back button to fade to the previous cue. Press it while fading to pause. Tap the locker to join the slider's movement. In the Master Live Control view, the cue sheet shows the sequence of cues with all the fade and delay times. Use this interactive view to directly edit the time fields. The Playback tab shows the controller's status. In the Cue Exam tab are reported all the fixtures, values, output related to AB crossfader. The Preview tab shows the output values contained in the following cue. There is also another live controller view. While the previous one is linked to the master controller, this one can be linked to any controller by tapping the settings button on the header. The Cue List track sheet gives a more detailed exam of the cue list contents. Select the cue list from the list and check the values, changing colors from cue to cue depending on if they are higher, lower, or tracked. You can filter the fixtures by set or by selection and the banks of parameters. Fill the playback page with as many virtual controllers as you need. Slider sets, cue key buttons, and aux key buttons have independent paging. For each category, there are up to 30 pages with up to 100 controllers each. There are also up to 100 global sliders. Working with programmed contents, you can assign cue lists, single cues, or scenes to the controllers and they will act exactly like the AB crossfader. Working with editor contents, in busking mode, you can assign groups to the controllers and create submasters. Submasters can be very useful during programming, as they allow to fastly select and deselect the fixtures and to limit their intensity output. You can assign preset libraries and macros to the button controllers, cue keys and aux keys so that they will act like the library soft keys. In default system settings, it's possible to define the controller's properties and actions that will be applied to every new assignment. Tap the slider and choose if it's supposed to control intensity, parameters, or effects options. Tap the buttons to make them go, back, flash, on, off, or whatever you like it to act. Different default actions can be set for faders and buttons for cue lists, scenes, and submasters. Apart from the default settings, it's possible to configure any individual controller setting. Tap the right side of a controller to open its specific settings window. If you need to operate a cue list with several sliders, press Add button on the left and right side. For example, the left one can operate on the dimmer and the right one the other parameters. Go to the Controller Settings tab for slider and flash behavior options, paging and overriding properties, and to manage the priority. Controllers can also be triggered independently from their buttons actions by using the editor and the controller operation and command keys. In the operation keys, there are the most useful functions like go, flash, on, off, solo, and assert. Use them in combination with the controllers. In the command keys, there is a select button to choose the master playback, indicated by a blue background. By changing the master playback, both the master live view and the master controller keys will refer to the new master. Use the release button and the controllers button to release the output. Press 2 times release and make it blink red to operate on more controllers. Press it again to deactivate the release function. Press it with Shift to release all the controllers at a time. Use the free button to empty a controller. 2 times press to operate on more controllers and with Shift to free all of them. But before doing a free all, it's better to learn how to store snaps. Snaps are the very best way to store the controller's position, configuration, and current state. Store a snap with the Store button. Now you can try the free all command. By pressing the snap soft key, all the controllers are reassigned with the stored contents and with their specific settings. They also recover the output state, with cue list positions and slider level. Use snaps to store your playback configuration and to fastly recall a stage look. In default settings, it's also possible to define the snap activation time. Vibe is now ready to play back your shows. Enjoy the lighting. Keep following us to discover more on the next tutorials.